After the financial close of Convergence Partners Infrastructure Fund in sometime October 2013, and we are now very excited as a team and working towards establishing another office in Lagos, Nigeria. And in the last couple of weeks, we have been up in Lagos, exploring this very beautiful country, this very dynamic country where almost everybody is looking for opportunities. As you will know that Nigeria is one of the most successful countries in the African continent. It is an emerging market with a population of over 160 million people. And Nigeria is one of the fastest growing countries today in the African continent, in the emerging markets, and with a lot of oil and gas being produced and a lot of infrastructure being built. We are looking at establishing an office in Lagos. Lagos is a very dynamic city. Lagos State has more than 25 million people, and this is where the next office of Convergence Partners Infrastructure Fund will be. Looking at opportunities in the West Africa region, in Nigeria, in Ghana, and all other countries in that region. And this is a very dynamic market. West Africa is a fast-growing region being driven by Nigeria and Ghana. Is a very much oil-rich region, and it's a region that is perceived by a number of economies that it will be the largest, Nigeria will be the largest economy of Africa in the next 10 or so years. So we are excited as Convergence to establish an office in this part of the African continent, whereby the people who will be based in that office will look at all these opportunities and see how we can invest in that region and be part and parcel of this growing market. It's interesting when you walk in the streets of Nigeria to see dynamism of people who are traders, people who are busy trying to make ends meet, people who really are almost all of them looking happy, very strong, selling in the markets. I mean, one of the biggest markets in Nigeria is one of the biggest markets in the African continent. It's a market with almost more than 1 million people every day who gather together to buy and sell goods. People from neighboring countries, they come to this market in Lagos. People from Cameroon, people from different states in Nigeria, they come to this market to come and buy goods, to come and buy products, and be able to take them into different parts of West Africa. So there is that traffic, dynamic traffic, that you see, for instance, in Nigeria today. Apart from that, Nigeria has a number of undersea cables that are landing in Lagos, connecting not only Lagos, but through Lagos, connecting a number of other states and other countries that are bordering Nigeria. So this is very exciting. A lot of land-based fiber has been built, and what Nigerian government has done in the recent past, they've allowed the process whereby there is PPP, there are PPP, public-private partnership structures, in particular around power, where in different states there will be private providers of energy. This has created a new vibe in the market, whereby a lot of people are looking at opportunities of either providing infrastructure to power companies or being able to be in the downstream in terms of power service providers. Energy, of course, for many years we know that has been a challenge, but these issues are being addressed by this new model that the government in Nigeria has adopted of allowing private power producers to be able to provide power in that country. It's an exciting opportunity. Huge investments are getting into power. The other area that is very exciting there is the fact that new energy or new refineries for oil and gas are being built in order to produce, for instance, domestic consumption or to improve domestic consumption of both petrol, diesel, or, for instance, lubricants. Oil and gas is one of the most exciting areas and to provide technology to all these companies, to provide infrastructure to all these companies, it's something that we are looking forward to do. So what are the key drivers of the Nigerian economy? Oil and gas, as I've said, energy on the other side, and general FMCG, this is fast-moving consumer goods. As you can see in the Nigerian market, a lot of dynamism of almost everybody, whereby FMCG is becoming one of the leading sectors in that region. And therefore, what one would like to say is that, you know, for us in Convergence, we're looking forward to opening up an office in the next few weeks and few months in Lagos in order for us to be able to do business and be able to invest in that region, be able to invest in infrastructure that will improve the quality of life. As we all know that there's a direct correlation between broadband infrastructure and GDP growth. You know, for every 10% increase in broadband infrastructure, there is 1.3% contribution to GDP. So all what I'm talking about in the telecom sector, in the energy sector, in FMCG, in the oil and gas sector, these are all things that are driving this GDP growth in Nigeria and in West Africa in general. So we are, again, you know, looking forward to almost opening up this office in Nigeria very soon, where we will be able to look at a number of opportunities, not only in Nigeria, but in countries like Togo, Ghana, Cameroon, and various other parts. Now, Nigeria gives us a gateway to French-speaking Africa in countries like Senegal. There are huge opportunities there. The market is growing very fast. As we all know that by number of mobile subscribers, Nigeria is number one in the African continent. And there are many players. The market is very dynamic. And a lot of, for instance, towers have been outsourced to independent tower providers. Today, because of the LTE and that the regulator in Nigeria is considering providing frequencies to various players, both incumbent and new, there is a lot of fiber that is being built to connect different base stations. And there's a lot of fiber that is being built to connect buildings, homes, and different types of institutions, or what is called generally fiber to the X, fiber to the home. These are all opportunities that we see. We believe that we will become a critical player in the infrastructure in Nigeria. We are fortunate that companies like Dimension Data, Internet Solutions, and Plessy are already active in this market, and therefore this will create a much more comfortable or a much more easier lending environment for Convergence partners. And we are looking at how best we can even work with companies such as Internet Solutions in ensuring that we can enhance their capability by investing in infrastructure so that the price of broadband or bandwidth can be lowered. So with all the undersea fiber, with all the land-based fiber connecting different cities, with all the metro rings that have been built, for instance, in the Delta region, in Port Harcourt, in Kano, in places like Abuja, Lagos, and different other states. All this network is something that we are very interested in. There are a number of players in Nigeria. Nigeria is a highly competitive market, but the opportunity is still there because this is a fast-growing market. So we are very excited that we will have presence on the ground. We will have people, our officers of Convergence Partners Infrastructure Fund, who will be looking at opportunities in this region.